Man, that is one big kaiju.
Oh, you got that right.
Nice kaiju.
Good monster.
No! I think that'll be perfect.
Somebody's gonna be like, you guys are monsters.
Hey Rangers, welcome to Super Report Reviews. My name's Steve.
My name's Arnaz.
Shinji's in here for this review, so if you guys hear things in the background,
it's the monster.
it's this little guy right here. It's being a pill. Who's that, Shinji? Are you gonna get into that robot? No? Okay. And today we'll be reviewing the Robot Spirits Pacific Rim Uprising Sideacre Gipsy Avenger, which I finally found at a flipping Toys R Us.
Oh, damn time.
I went to 2 and he was never there. And then I went to the one that's closest to our house, which never gets anything Bandai related. Anything at all. But for some odd reason, they got this in. So I grabbed him. Sadly, I'm still waiting for my other stuff to show up for order. I did cancel him, because I have it now. But the Soul Shigoken hasn't shown up yet. The Kaiju did. So I might just ship that order today, and then when the Shigoken comes in, I'll just pay the extra.
Yeah.
And then Mechagodzilla will be here too. So anyways, the main reason I picked this figure up is just because it's Gipsy Avenger. It's like the flagship figure. It's also $10 cheaper than the other ones.
Plus, everybody needs a Gypsy in their life.
It's true.
It could be like Steve. Steve has like 10 of them.
Actually, I sold a couple, so I'm down to like... He would be number 7, I think, now. Well, what's the other one is? I'll be almost back up to where I was. But, yeah. The main reason why I understand this guy's $10 cheaper is just because it's kind of like the flagship figure. So they have him at a lower price point to kind of suck everybody in. And then the other ones are $30 with less stuff, it appears. So yay for business. But anyways, we're just gonna get into this figure without further ado. For the packaging, exact same as what we got with the other ones, with the little peg hole at the top, so you can actually hang this on a shelf if you wanted to. I know this guy, right?
Better go catch it.
Ha 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 ha. Anyways, you got the little blueprint, kind of like 3D image of him in the back. You got a nice image of him on the front. I'm still like, I think that's the figure now, right? Yeah.
Oh, it looks like it.
It kind of does because the coloring matches. So I'm gonna assume, but it's just like you don't see the joints the way we got in post. Like that's how good these things are detailed. It's like I'm not 100% certain. I think it's a little bit more detailed in the movie, so I'm gonna go with that. For ages 15 and up. On the side of the packaging, you get Gipsy Avenger. One thing I never pointed out, on the top of the package, it actually has their logo. So this one has Gipsy Avengers on the tops, and the other ones have their corresponding ones. On the side of the packaging, you just get a nice image of the figure inside of the packaging.
I'm sorry, I'm battling with your dog over here. He's licking me to death.
That's what he do.
Go away.
That's what he do.
Get away.
Number 228,
Pickles.
back of the package. You get him doing some dynamic poses, shows all the accessories he comes with, and some Lego mumbo jumbo and more gypsies on the bottom. So let's get him opened up out of his cardboard prison. Alright, so now that we got Gipsy Avenger opened up out of her cardboard prison, I keep calling these things he's, it's just what I'm kind of used to. I know it's technically a she, because it's a mech.
How is that a she?
It's a pilot. It's like, you know how all cars are girls?
No.
Well, it's the same.
No, it's not.
It's the same.
It's not.
They call it a her in the movie.
No.
So, yeah.
No.
But I'm probably just going to call it a he just because it's simpler for me anyways. But there will be some assembly outside of the packaging because on the back here you have some peg holes, which is for these little shoulder pad, you know what? Shoulder pad wings, which the angle portion goes inwards towards the body. So this will set like that.
So what are they for?
I haven't seen the movie yet.
God, Steve, somebody spoil it.
It's kind of like, it looks like thrusters.
Please don't spoil it for us.
Yeah, please no. I did hear that Godzilla actually has test screenings now for the new one.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, so that'll be cool. But these just pegging right here. So again, you want it facing like that. Be a little bit careful because it is kind of tight to go into that little peg hole there. And it's at a weird angle. So once you get it in, just make sure to push straight down out at an angle. And then you'll kind of just feel it come to rest. Then grabbing the other one wherever it went, You just do the same thing. They're kind of at an angle a little bit. And it's kind of hard to do this and stare at the camera at the exact same time. But once you get lined up.
Less complaining, Steve. Just do it.
I'm trying. God. Anyways. So once you get him in, you got his sweet little wing jetpack
Shield,
thingy going on. Cool. Next.
Batman.
Justice. But he also comes with... Actually, I just said justice. Justice. He also comes with a pair of open palms for gripping onto kaijus, smacking things, tipping things over, what have you. Which all you do is
just like the rest of them.
Yeah, just literally like the rest of them. You just go straight from the forearm, pull it out, go straight in. And what's nice too is the way the hand's angled. It doesn't come into, well, it sort of comes into contact, but it's not hindered by the armor plate here on the wrist, which is really nice to see. They're kind of angled how each of the Jaeger's arms are set up, which is really nice to see. It's a nice little attention to detail for them. And then he also comes with his chainsword and the plasma caster with actual translucent plastic for the effect.
Why does that look so good?
The only thing that kind of throws me off is it's all translucent blue and then super shiny silver in the middle. It kind of like, I wish I could see a little bit more of it on the inside, but it still looks really cool. Because the thing that kind of bothers me, I guess, is you see the silver on the inside, you can see parts of the machine kind of sticking through, but it's not painted. It's all just translucent blue.
Stop complaining. It's beautiful. You got an extra accessories for $20. $10 less than the other.
Yeah, there's not really much for me to complain about. Well, outside of, you just see all the stuff it came with, and it's cheaper than the other ones.
And you're complaining about that?
We'll get to it. But for the arms, how you actually attach these on is you got to pull it out from the elbow joint here, which is a little bit terrifying. But what I do is you just kind of angle it so that the joint's straight, and then you just got to kind of pull. Because you'll see here, it's got a couple of little divots to help keep the arm in. And you just grab corresponding arm. So this arm will only fit on this hand. I think, well, you could probably flip-flop it, I imagine, but it would look really odd on this one, right? So, yeah. Pushing it in. Again, you just want to line up the joint going straight so to alleviate pressure on the joint. And you just push it in. You'll feel it pop in. Bam! Got ourselves a plasma caster.
That thing does look amazing. It's just, it blows my mind.
Yeah, it's kind of like, I wish they would have done this more with, like, the NECA figures. Especially, like, with Gipsy. Like, with all the reissues and repaints they gave us, like, they couldn't have gave us this little extra attachment and, like, some cool little blooming effect. That would have been awesome.
Oh, you know what would be amazing, Steve? If they would give us an actual thing you can attach to that. It looks like it's shooting it.
Yeah.
That would have been amazing, actually.
That would have been amazing.
But then it would have been more money.
I would have been okay with it, personally. It's kind of like why I'm really excited about the Shigoken. But you guys can see for the rest of the details for the arm, you can see where the armor plate expands out to kind of assemble the cannon. On the opposite side, too, you can see where it expands outward. And these are kind of like the fingers that form together to make the... I'm not sure what exactly to call it. It's like the antennas. They're like the conductor points. And then it kind of focuses in the center and shoots. So yeah, really cool attachment. And then pretty much you do the same for the opposite arm.
Please don't do that. You don't need to take it off. Leave it on.
Nope. Got to put the chain sword on. Swapping it out.
But
one thing continue.
How is he going to hold a monster if he has the chain, blade, and a cannon on?
Because you don't need to. You got close range combat and long range combat all put into one. Bam.
They don't look right.
Yeah, I kind of feel like it's one or the other, right?
Yeah. Unless he has like a third arm we don't know about.
Yeah. Also, that doesn't come with a hand attached to it. You have to use the fist. Oh, poopy! I just pulled out the joint with the hand.
Oh, good job, Steve.
Yeah, I'm pretty awesome if I do say so myself. Problem solved. So again, you're gonna have to use the clenched fist because the way the hands are angled, that ain't gonna work.
But I want him to hold the blade with his hand.
Well, I kind of wanted him like this, and then the blades outwards. I think that would look really cool, but it's not really an option for this.
Can't use the jazz hands for this one, huh?
Sadly, no. But just so you guys a little bit closer look at the details, you have the metallic silver for the blade, looks really nice. You can see where the sword blades kind of connect together, and then where the arm kind of separates outwards in order to eject the sword out of it, which is really cool to see, like these little attention to details on his figures, because like the NECA ones, like I still really like, but it's just like the sword just kind of pooped into the arm and called it a day. Well, this one definitely has a lot more going on to it, and also you don't have to worry about the sword falling out. But then again, if this guy tipped over with the sword and arm, I would imagine this might be an issue. But it's kind of the give and take you get for having a little bit more of a secured accessory. Then for a closer look at his details, head sculpt is awesome.
We're finally doing the figure.
Going over the figure.
God, about time.
Sorry, I know these videos take forever. I do talk a lot.
Yeah, he does. Multiple occasions he's been told to shut up.
But what would you want? Just be going...
No, that's why we need that turntable.
Just have him spin. Here you go, guys. Here's the review. Hope you enjoyed.
Spread his legs. Done. Thank you guys for watching.
Yeah, thank you guys want to look at those minute details. And quiet.
All right, that's enough. That's creepy, man.
Alright, anyways. Head sculpt is really nice. I love the gold visor here on the front. It's got kind of the shades of Gipsy Danger, but definitely a lot more streamlined looking. Very modern.
I don't know how I feel about the helmet. It's definitely different.
Again, it's a little bit more Gundam for me. You got the red stripe here of paints coming across the top. You can also see the same thing going on with the shoulder pads. You have the emblem on the shoulders as well, if it'll ever focus on that.
You're telling me it's not just one color and call it a day?
Crazy, right? He's got like gunmetal on the sides here mixed in with the other parts. His kneecaps are actually painted. Cray cray, I know. Somebody got upset last time we said cray cray. Don't care though. And he has also some numbering here on his thighs. He's got some right here on the top section of his breastplate. And also what's cool too is like his reactor is actually translucent plastic, which is really nice because it kind of reflects the lighting a little bit. For the rest of the detailing, the armor plating looks really nice where he has some more intricate details, what kind of looks like little vents here by the shoulders. Same with on the top section of the shoulders. And there's just a lot of like indentations and such to give it that way more a metallic feel, especially coming across the sides here, which is really cool. One thing I noticed too is that some of this is like gray plastic here, and then some of this is actually painted. Like you can see here on the sides of the ribs. While this section here is just plastic. Which looks good. Like again, it kind of tells you that they paid a little bit more attention to the paint job on this guy. Because, you know, it's like for the back, there isn't really much going on, which is to be expected. Detailing wise, you get some like pistons here on the top section of the thighs. Not much really going on down here. For the arms, more or less pretty standard for what you've seen on the older Gipsy Danger, but you have like this little cuff link on the wrist section here. Looks really cool though. Same with on the back here too. He has these like little thrusters, which kind of reminds me of Gipsy Danger in a way, because he had like those little access metal pieces on the back of his shoulder. And this has a little bit more of like a purpose on this one.
Purpose for...
Probably helping with jumping and stuffing like that. Stuff like that, not stuffing.
He's gonna stuff it like that.
He's gonna stuffing the crap out of those kaijus. We already had somebody take our joke in the oh god, what's his name? Titan Redemmer, the Titan joke. Went a little too far, but I appreciate it.
That was hilarious.
Oni-chan, no. Anyways, but for the rest of it, pretty standard fare for what you expect to see on a mech. And overall, detail-wise, I really like this one. It has enough going on to make it feel very expensive, very Japanese. The back not having paint isn't quite as big of a concern. For his articulation, head can look, if you angle it out a little bit, maybe.
Maybe
no,
not.
that's about as high as you're going to get it. Looks down about that far. Can rotate side to side, but you can get a decent range of motion out of that. Same with the neck. Felt like I had a little bit of articulation, but only really can go side to side.
Oh.
Got a little bit of a jive. For his shoulder, this is all one solid piece, but you can articulate it to help with the shoulder articulation. So he can get his arm up about that far, down about that far.
It looks like it would scratch your paint, though. I would be worried about it.
I'm not too concerned about it, because a lot of this just looks like it's part of the plastic. You have to worry more about the reds than anything. The reds and the silver right here. But his arm can go forward about that far, backwards about that far. Got a rotation at the upper part of the bicep. Nice double joint at the elbow. Hands can rotate all the way around. For his chest, a little bit of side-to-side motion.
You didn't forget it this time, did you, Steve?
Nice forward and back. No, I did not. Didn't have to refilm that part. Can move side to side. For his legs, can go outwards about that far, inwards about that far. On a double joint here.
What do you want? You're interrupting the video.
I don't know what you want.
Oh, he wants to barf on you is what he wants.
Hey, you get down. You get down. I know you're.
We were communicating here.
We're in the middle of something. I only got so much battery life in this camera. Thighs are on a double joint here, so you get a nice range of motion. His legs can go forward about that far, backwards about that far. So pretty insane. Rotation here at the top part of the thigh. Nice double joint at the knee. You guys are distracting us all crap. His leg can go side to side and forward and back as well. Again, sorry for the video not being as professional as, well, never on this channel, but still. And for some quick comparisons, we're going to start with some normal Robot Spirits with the Robot Spirits Evangelion Unit 0 and the Mobile Suit Gundam.
You just said the name 3 seconds ago, Steve.
Quibbly. But anyways, I had to remember. It's been a minute since we used this figure for anything. What you guys can kind of see between the two, these guys definitely have a greater attention to detail between them, but are also more pricey figures. Well, technically, I think when he came out, he was only like 30.
I was about to say, what are you talking about? Gipsy looks so much better than these guys.
Well, that's what I was kind of saying. Like, it's only slight. Like, Unit 0 is the one that's probably the more standout one in terms of detail, because there's a lot more going on, and also there's paint on the back. And accessory-wise, definitely trumps this one. But this one is more similar to what I'm used to seeing on Robot Spirits than what we got with the previous two. And here he is with his Robot Spirits brothers with Bracer Phoenix and Titan Redemmer, which, in terms of paint apps, as you can see, Gipsy Avenger, clearly the more impressive. Also the taller of the two. Which is...
Holy crap,
yeah.
I just noticed that.
Yeah, it occurred to me too. This one's probably second best in terms of paint apps and what's going on. I would say Bracer's probably the worst of the three.
Oh, that's not true. This one right here is in full details for all the colorblind people. I think that's what they went for, Steve.
Yeah, well, that's like more akin to, I think, just how the design of the mecha is in the movie more than anything.
It can't be that plain.
Well, like again, like the little rockets here probably could have been painted and stuff like that. Because even like looking at his accessories, like his stuff's all painted. The only real like the thing that like each of them had consistently is the back isn't really painted on any of them.
So now the final one that comes in, that one will be full detail painted, right, Steve?
Well, the next ones aren't going to be in for a bit. Because the next wave we get, I can't remember the one's name, but we get Obsidian Fury, Saber Athena, and then the one with the whip.
Licorice Whip.
And that's the one I can't quite remember its name. But those I'm really looking forward to. Because again, these figures are very nice for the price point, but it's just odd to see how much more value you get for a $20 figure with these figures also being the line at $30.
Oh, God.
It's, yeah, we'll get into that in a second.
Love me.
Here,
Love me.
Shiji, it's being a pill. But here is Gipsy Avenger compared next to the NECA 24-inch long 2014 Godzilla, which is actually getting reissued. So if you guys missed...
Oh, don't smell there. He bit it wrong. Okay, get off now. Enough playing.
He's getting reissued, so if you missed out on it, We did a review. This thing is awesome. Please hop on it. And here's some SH Monsters figures with Mechagodzilla, technically 2. Oops.
Don't put that down. He'll eat it.
I know. And Mogira.
Which is by far the best robot. Period.
I do like Mogira. That one's better.
No, it's
I'm
not.
going to say. But it's kind of odd to see because these guys are, 100 meters? And Gipsy's actually taller than everybody here.
Yeah, just a little bit off the scale, huh?
Just a bit. I do actually, probably the best one I like to scale with is that 2014 Godzilla. I think they look pretty cool together. The NECA one?
The one you just did?
The one I just did.
You sure that's in scale properly? Because
I wouldn't say properly, but better than what we have here. And then finally, here we have Gipsy Avenger compared next to some NECA Pacific Rim figures with Hong Kong Brawl Gypsy Danger and Battle Damage Knifehead.
All right, do you know what I noticed in all these comparisons, Steve?
Huh?
Next to the SH Monster art, he's bigger. Next to NECA, they're bigger.
Yeah, and again, like we mentioned, paint apps on the NECA ones are more impressive for the most part. Definitely more painted, but this one's like more streamlined and smooth, while these guys are a little bit more rough, which kind of works for the film very well for me.
Yeah.
Anyways, so that's kind of like where you like the give and take. Like he's more articulated. This just looks a little better in terms of paint. So again, kind of excited to see how the diamond selects are going to be. But we kind of mentioned that one enough. But for now, it's pretty much depending on which ones you want to buy. It's mainly articulation, paint job. So overall for the Robot Spirits Gipsy Avenger, this figure is actually really impressive, especially for the $20 price range. The paint job on him is done very well. Articulation's phenomenal, has a nice range of accessories, and overall, easily the best bang for your buck in this line. Which is kind of my problem.
How is that a problem?
Well, in a sense, because... Okay, so I get that why he's cheaper is because they want to sell more, right?
Yeah.
It's the only reason he's cheaper.
He's the starter figure. You buy this, and then you'll extend into buying
Yeah,
more.
you'll be like, man, this figure's so impressive. I need to go get these other ones. While the $30 ones aren't really kept up to quite the same standard as this one.
Yeah, they didn't put enough effort into them. They were like, we're just going to hook, line, and sink with this figure, and the rest you'll just buy because.
Yeah, which I feel like is kind of the wrong way to go into, because for the most part, if you're excited about this movie, like him being at $30 and them all being at $30, I think would have been fine. And that little issue would have been quite as noticeable for me.
Because honestly, if you're a fan, you're going to buy them all. Rather it'll be 20 or 30.
Yeah. So how I feel about this is if they're going to keep this one cheaper, I think they should have maybe spent a little bit more time on the other figures. Like, if they would just like gave Scrapper some added paint, would have been fine with me. But just having like a hunk of blue plastic compared to plasma cluster, translucent plastic, and shiny silver swords isn't quite the same, you know? But it's like, I get it. They're a business. It's a way to make money. But it's just like, it's sort of a feel bad when you get like this figure, if you would have started with this and then went through the other two.
Stop looking at me. I'm sorry. It tickles.
You.
But no, what really got my attention in this figure is all the translucent plastic on it. It really makes it stand out from the other ones for sure.
Yeah, because there's just so much more going on at such a cheaper price point.
It's kind of not fair.
Yeah, that's the thing that just kind of bothers me about this guy a little bit. Like, if you want a Gipsy Avenger, don't get me wrong, like, go get this one. This one's phenomenal, especially $20. Like, the Diamond Select is going to be more expensive.
Yeah, for sure.
While the other ones is going to be a little bit more debatable. But if you want, like, a good, solid Gipsy Avenger, this is easily the one to go for. But, again, like, I kind of like the way, like, Diamond's doing it better, where they're just all the same price point, all the same quality. Well, the Robot Spirits have a little bit more of a jump. So again, definitely, if you guys are interested in this movie and this figure and this line in general, this is easily the best one to get. Next best, again, would be Titan Redemmer. With Brace for Phoenix being the worst out of the three we've gotten.
It's called Save the Best for the Last, Steve.
Well, at least that's how the reviews lined up. Anyways, the next set of Pacific Rim ones, there might be a little bit of a gap because, again, we haven't gotten them in yet. Same with the SH Monsters Mechagodzilla should be in hopefully soon. So the next one review that'll be up will probably be something random, and then we'll get back to our new stuff. What do you guys think? Have you guys picked up Gipsy Avenger? What's your favorite Robot Spirit Pacific Rim figure, or is
Batman?
Or is Batman just more your thing? I guess please listen to the comments. We'll look closer pictures of the guys on our Facebook. You want to click the link in the description below. We also have a Patreon account with exclusive prints for the channel, also down in the description. And help us defeat those kaijus by hitting the like button, subscribe, become a ranger today. See you guys in the next video. Bye-bye. Oh, hello, Obsidian Fury. Welcome to the figure family. And since you're new here, decided to get you a gift. Well, isn't that just sweet of you? Yeah, see, I just had this sitting around the house, and I thought you would appreciate it. More so than the other Eggers. Is this some kind of sick joke? No, see, man, I thought this thing would be perfect for you, because oh, it doesn't... No, it doesn't play. The batteries are dead. You think this is funny, don't you? Yeah, just a little bit. Hey, Rangers, welcome to Super Report Reviews. My name's Steve.
My name's Arnaz.
And today we'll be going over the Robot Spirit Pacific Rim Uprising Obsidian Fury.
Special edition?
No, just regular Obsidian Fury.
That's special edition one.
How's a special edition?
It's one color. Like, that's not the color of the actual, movie representation. This is the special edition one.
Well, it was like 90% black in the movie?
No, not even that close,
like,
Steve.
the figure 100% black. Well, like 99.9, like you got the visor there. Yeah. And the swords. Cool. Anyways, if you guys haven't seen the movie yet,
Shame on you.
You should have. I've seen it. I haven't seen it twice yet. I kind of want to. Because I did get to go see it. It was funny thing is when I paid to go down there to go watch it in IMAX, I realized I paid for digital, not IMAX. I was like, oh, the IMAX was booked. So I was like, oh, well. They're like, you can stick around till the 9 o'clock. I'm like, no, I'll just go watch it. And I kind of want to go see it in 3D.
3D, really?
Yeah, I think it'd be kind of cool. But, I can't really get into too much detail on this guy from the movie without spoiling it anyways. But he's just the bad robot. We'll just leave it at that for now. Anyways, we're just going to get into his figure here. So without further ado, for the packaging, you just get the same thing we've seen with all the other Robot Spirits Pacific Rim figures with the more bluish purple background. Nice little like red little blueprint layout of Obsidian Fury in the back. Kind of makes it look a little bit more menacing. Nice image of the figure on the front of the package. Side of the package, Obsidian Fury. Top, get his little symbol that kind of looks like his face. Opposite side, nice back shot of the Jaeger. And on the back, you just get him in some dynamic poses. He has his plasma chainsaws, can be equipped to both arms. A tower mech so powerful, its origins are shrouded in secrecy. Meet the deadliest Jaeger to ever walk the earth. With stealth chrome armor plating, twin plasma chainsaws, and a chest-mounted Akum Savlo launcher? Obsidian Fury is ready to defend our world or destroy it. But I do like how it's ready to defend our world when in the film it just never did.
No, not even close.
The box is a lie. And on the bottom of the packaging, some stuff I can't understand, and some legal mumbo jumbo with the bluefin sticker on the back. And more Obsidian Fury on the bottom. So let's get him open up out of his cardboard prison. Alright, so now that we got him open up out of his cardboard prison, first and foremost, I apologize in advance for my very dark background and the very dark action figure.
Yeah, we had to increase the brightness on the camera because of it.
Yeah, so hopefully it shows up a little better, because I know people were complaining with the Guyver review, where the figure entirely black, just like this figure. It's kind of hard to see some of the detailing, so apologize in advance, but it's not like I got an extra background laying around. So we're just getting into it. But anyways, for his accessories, we have his plasma chainsaws.
Which is wrong.
They're right.
No, should be silver and then fire on top. Not the whole thing was on fire.
Close enough. What do you want for $30?
Better details. I paid $30.
I would rather see more silver on him than actually on this. At least it's like glowing and sort of cool.
Well, at least at a change, it was affordable for $30 for them to change it.
Anyways, for the hands, he also comes with a pair of open clenched hands. So, how you get those on, because I kind of want those on for the chain blades. But, you'll see out of the package, comes with a pair of clenched fists. Look really good detail-wise. Now you swap them out. Is you just pull straight from the forearm. Pretty easy to do. And then just, you take this one. These ones are on a little bit of an angle, but not as drastic as some of the other ones. But
talking about the previous video we did, Steve.
Still pretty good. Where Gypsy's like that, and that's just kind of how it is all the time. I'm hoping you can get the blades on, because I kind of like the look of it like open with the blades. I think look cool. But we'll swap out this side too. And then next for the chain blades, what you do with these, which is actually kind of cool, is you take this little plating off of his forearm. And it'll expose the inner workings. Same with on the opposite side. Pull this guy out. And then you take the chain blade, and each of them are kind of arced on the inside with the peg there. So you know which one's supposed to go into which. But you kind of know because right side blade coming out. Then you just push it in. And then you take the plating and you put it back on top. You'll have 2 peg holes here and there. On the bottom, you'll see where they are in the little plate. And you just slide it over top. So now you got his chain blade fully extended. Put the one on the opposite side. And there we go. Dual wielding chain blades all the time. Which looks really cool. I do like, especially with the lighting here, they really helped like make the blades glow a little bit more. Granted, it would have been nice to see a little bit more silver on the inside. Just make it a little bit more movie accurate.
No takebacks now, Steve.
But I still I like them.
You stick with that Halloween edition.
I will stick with my Halloween edition. Looks cool. Looks awesome. But for a closer look at the chain blades real quick, you get a little added detailing with the blades going around. Kind of sad that you see all that little attention to detail on the inside to make it really look like a chainsaw. And then there's this little plastic piece over top of it that kind of just makes it into the full rounded sword. And like it looks fine because the way I figured is just how fast it's going. It's going to look like that anyways. But it's still nice to see that little attention to detail on the inside there as well. Plus, with these figures are kind of cool. If you're really good at like customizing your figures, like these guys with a little bit added paint would look phenomenal. It's also really cool how the plating on top too just kind of sits on top, so now it looks like it extended out like it's supposed to. And that really actually helps to make this figure stand out a lot more for me, in my opinion. Kind of wish they would have done something like that with Gipsy Avenger. But sadly, no. And then for a quick closer look at its details, head sculpt looks good. I do like the use of the translucent visor for the front of the face, which we haven't really mentioned in most of the other videos because even Gipsy Avenger has one of those too. But I kind of wish they maybe would have had some light piping in the back, so that when you'd have like your display light shining through the back here, it would help to make the mask glow a little bit more. Would have been really cool, because right now with all the black, it just kind of bleeds in a little bit with the coloring.
You know what I wish he came with? With his like a little maybe accessories you can put on his back spine for the jamming.
Yeah, that would have been kind of cool. That or even an extra head sculpt to reveal spoilers. In the movie, he'd have an extra head. Well, not an extra head, but there is a scene where the helmet gets broken open. I want that. But yeah, just for the back. Again, all black all the time. But you do have his spinal column here. Which, yeah, it would have been kind of cool maybe have an accessory where it's like flaking out. But then again, they could just release another version of them.
Yeah, they got to sucker money somehow.
With that going into it. But a lot of the molding here for the armor plating looks really nice on him, though. It's just kind of a shame that with just all the mute color and the same consistent color just kind of makes it bleed a little bit.
I was about to say
it's just not as noticeable. Like, especially on the front. A lot of very nice detailings for the armor plating there as well. But with it all being one solid color, it just doesn't seem like it pops nearly as well. And even possibly even adding some like panel lining here and there would really help to make it shine a little bit. Because the only real difference in black is like for his bicep here, it's actually a gloss. So it's more black than the rest of the body. But you get a little bit of the gray here for the elbows, and then the same kind of matte black for the forearms here, which look really nice too.
Steve, we can just say the paint job sucks, man.
What paint job? There's no paint job to suck.
Oh, touche. Technicality.
It's all plastic, but he does have a little bit of gray here for the joint here for his top of his thigh. And then some more gray here for the knees as well. And then just more of the same matte black for the calf section here, where you have that. Even the little cylinders on the inside are black too.
I thought they were supposed to be gray.
That was the one thing I was like, maybe those are great. Nope, still black. But you have that little bit of exposed metal here on the side. And then his two little ninja toes.
Somebody got trigger happy with that black paint.
Again, it's just plastic, man. All plastic. But for his articulation, head can look down about that far, up about that far, left and right pretty well. A little bit of a wiggle to the top section. Same with the neck here too. Can shift back and forth. For his shoulders, you can actually articulate the top section here to give him a little bit more range of motion for his arms, which is really nice because his arm can straighten up about that far, down about that far, and forward about that far, but possibly rotate this joint. There we go. You can get it really far forward if you want to. Same with back. Nice double joint at the elbow. Also rotation at the top section of the shoulder. Rotation at the hands. Nothing at the elbow though. For his waist can go not too much forward and back, it appears, but decent side to side. A little bit of a wiggle there too as well. For his calves, definitely do the splits. Goes in about that far. Really nice forward kick. Nice back kick as well. I like how his feet can touch his head. Attention to the detail right there, man. And is he even paying attention? You haven't commented once.
Well, anything I say will be negative.
And then also rotation at the top part of the thigh. Got a bend here at the knee. Really nice bend here at the knee, actually. And a little bit of rotation at the feet. And go a little bit forward and back. And for some quick comparisons with some other Robot Spirits figures we'll be reviewing here in a little bit is the Saber Athena and Guardian Bravo, who is tiny.
Do you notice their size difference, Steve? Do you know what the size difference represents? The
Not a
amount
clue.
of work they did in a movie.
Touche! Touche. And here is some other random Pacific Rim figures in my collection that are also fairly new. Is the Sophie Spirits Pacific Rim Uprising Raijin, who now we know is a Category 5, and the Solar Shigoken Gipsy Danger.
Now, when they combine... Oh, never mind.
And here is with his mortal enemy, some Gypsies, with the NECA Hong Kong Brawl Gypsy Danger and the Pacific Rim Uprising Robot Spirits Gypsy Avenger. And here's with some other random Robot Spirits figures in my collection with the Z Gundam and the Heavy Arms Kai Gundam from Gundam Wing.
You get the reference in here, Steve, just like in the movie?
So much taller. So over with the Robot Spirits Pacific Rim Uprising Obsidian Fury. This figure is a really nice figure.
You messed up his name again. It's the Halloween edition.
Halloween edition. My bad.
With the pumpkins and everything.
Shut up, pumpkins.
That would be
Should just
awesome.
put this review out on Halloween.
Make you guys wait.
But for me, this figure highlights the biggest weakness of all these figures in this line so far. Is that their paint apps are very lackluster for the majority of them. Granted, one of the newer ones actually is very surprisingly well done in terms of color variety and what you get outside of Gypsy Avenger.
Is it this one I'm holding in my hand right now, Steve? Because this definitely has two colors on it.
We're still Halloween. Moving on to the next one. But for what you see in the film, the figure will still work really well for you, and the articulation on this thing is amazing.
Yeah, that is the one positive thing, is the articulation is like, whoa.
Yeah, it's definitely very impressive in terms of that. So if you really like to play with your figures, probably one of the best ones in the line.
I don't know. It seems like it will be very hard to like scratch the paint because of it's like all like one. It's like not even paint. It's just plastic.
Yeah, you don't have to be quite as safe with him.
Yeah.
I feel. But still would have been nice to maybe seen a little bit more use of silver on him. Granted, he's the biggest one out of the bunch for Robot Spirits. He's definitely the tallest out of the series. And with his double chain blades and the little arm gimmick that I actually think is kind of cool with him, I would recommend him to you guys. Especially if you really like Pacific Rim Uprising and want the evil Yeager for your collection, then this is definitely a solid choice.
Yeah, it's not like he's going to break you. It's $30. It's not that bad.
Yeah, I would say you can find them at Toys R Us, but with those going out and discounts already happening, good luck with that. But he's still very readily available online. But what do you guys think? Have you guys picked up Obsidian Fury? What's your favorite Jaeger from Pacific Rim? Or is Master Gundam just more your thing? Please let us know in the comments. Look closer pictures of this guy on our Facebook. You want to click the link in the description below. We also have our Patreon account with exclusive prints for the channel and also live stream reviews, also down in the description. And help us defeat those kaijus by hitting that like button, subscribe, become a ranger today. See you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.
So, are you here for the lockdown edition too? Because it looks like I got some mighty fine competition.
Hey Rangers, welcome to Super Report Reviews. My name's Steve.
My name's Ernest.
And today we'll be going over the Robot Spirits Pacific Rim Uprising Side Jaeger Titan Redemmer.
Side Jaeger, does that mean he's an extra, Steve? He's just a side guy. He doesn't go up front.
Exactly. he's that piece on the side, you know? He's not your main piece.
Oh.
He's not part of the main line.
Well, that sucks because he's my favorite Jaeger.
Really? I figured you'd like the other one we're going to be reviewing. We're going to do both of these reviews today anyways.
I don't know, just from the package, he has a ball chain on his hand.
He does have a ball chain on his hand.
You can't go wrong with that.
That's why he has a lack of accessories. He only has one actual hand. He only comes with one extra hand. So he's already failing me. But anyways, just want to point out for this video, we haven't seen Pacific Rim yet. It hasn't come out yet. So if you're going to comment anything about news-related stuff,
shut up.
It's correcting. Again, haven't seen movie yet. Dates. So, this review is just going to be solely based on this figure here. I know nothing. He has a ball chain. It comes with a little guy. But anyways.
Wait, a little guy as in a monster or a little guy as his miniature self?
He comes with that little, like, makeshift Jaeger that you see in the trailer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like the Devastator looking dude. He comes with that. But the main reason I picked this guy up is because I love the first film. So I imagine the second film's going to be great. So I have literally everything on pre-order. That's cool looking giant robot. So then I just love the Robot Spirits line. So I'm hoping this guy is as good as my other Robot Spirits. Granted, he's definitely cheaper. Like Gipsy Avengers runs around 20 bucks. This guy's 30. So I have my doubts. It's probably going to be a little bit more closer to a stateside figure, but mostly like same joints and stuff, I'm assuming.
Robot Spirit, Steve.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong.
It's a Japanese toy, so we'll see how it goes. But anyways, without further ado, for the packaging, again, it's got more of a stateside kind of appearance. Grabbing this loose Dragon Ball Super box. You can kind of see that they're similar in design, because it's like, as you can see, it's designed to sit on a peg and stuff, and to me that just kind of just screams like this was really meant to show up at Toys R Us's. Which, hey, guess what, where I found it. But for the rest of the package, you just got the blueprints of the Titan Redemmer on the top, image of, I don't know if that's the toy the way it looks. Maybe. Could be the one from the movie. Side of the package just gives you his name, Pacific Rim, Robot Spirits. Opposite side, more photos of the figure inside the packaging. Number 230 in the Robot Spirits line. Back of the package, just him in some dynamic poses. Shows the little Scrapper. Is that his name? Scrapper Jaeger minifigure. Neato. And some stuff I can't understand. Some Lego mumbo jumbo at the bottom. So let's get him open up out of his cardboard prison. Alright, so now that we got Titan Redemmer open up out of his cardboard prison, first we're going to start with accessories with Scrapper.
I see why it's called the Scrapper. She's just being a scrapyard. Look at that thing.
Well,
I think I've seen better toys come out of the freaking like Walmart boxes. What is that thing?
It's Scrapper. He's kind of like a mini little Devastator that one of the girls pilots. Then I'm assuming is the pilot of this guy too. Like progressing through the story, she probably pilots this one. That's why the figures are kind of tied together. But for Scrapper here, he's just metallic silver plastic. That's pretty much about it. You get some added little detailing, so you can see some of the armor plating, some of the makeshift parts. His feet definitely are not the same.
You sure?
Between the two. Same with the arms. You got like that little scooper. And on the opposite side, that kind of looks like a hand. Could be like a...
This guy will be amazing for you, Steve.
Like a rake?
This guy will be amazing for you because you can just clean out your kitty litter with that scooper.
Oh, sweet. And then he has like the body of the Hulkbuster armor. He's like the Hulkbuster with like random makeshift parts.
What I feel like this was made by like a 5-year-old kid.
I don't know, like detail wise, it looks good. It's just like paint job, like they just didn't bother.
No, I'm talking about like being put together as like a 5-year-old.
Well, you see, like a little kid pilots it in the trailer.
It's just like, I want this, Daddy, and this.
That looks cool. That looks cool. Let's put it all in a robot. It's very 90s, right?
Yeah.
But for this guy, I
feel like
I want to say this is supposed to be articulated, but I don't want to rotate it too much because I fear ripping the thing, and it just kind of goes back to where it was.
I feel like he belongs in Power Rangers.
I don't know, like I said, it looks like a Transformer. Looks very Transformer-esque to me. Like something Michael Bay would put in a movie.
Oh, God.
And then moving on to Titan Redemmer, he comes with one fist and then a open hand for gripping onto other Jaegers. And how you swap these out, if it'll ever focus back on the camera, is you just want to pull straight from the forearm. Pops out pretty easy as I smack into the camera. And then this goes in a little bit at an angle, so it's kind of awkward because you kind of see where the ball joint socket is. So you just got to line it up, push it in, and good to go. And it just like, it sits back a little higher, which I kind of like because it just feels more natural when he's trying to grab onto like a tentacle or an arm of another monster Jaeger.
Hey, whoa, whoa, whoa. This isn't a hentai, Steve.
It could be. Have you seen this thing?
Onicha, no.
Exactly. So, moving on to a closer look at his details, we're going to start with the giant mace arms thing here, right? With all the spikes all the time. One thing I love about this is these are actually a little flexible. Because one thing about robot spirits generally is that the little spiky protrusions on their Gundams, Evas, mechs, you name it, are generally hard plastic. While with this, you definitely, going into this figure, they do that kids would play with this. Like, if it's going to show up in, like, Toys R Us's and a lot of stateside places, that, and with the popularity of the movie and definitely being geared towards a younger audience, I feel, like, we love it too, but...
Steve, shh, we are the younger audience. Shh.
I wish I was. But they definitely took that into consideration here, so that it could actually be messed around a little bit without having to worry about these longer parts snapping off. The smaller ones feel like they're a little bit firmer, but I don't like, with all this on here, I don't really feel like this is super breakable unless I like smash this on the table or this thing falls off like a top shelf.
That is a bad idea for design. You shoot that out and get stuck inside of a monster, you're being pulled towards that monster. And you see the size of that guy? Like, there's no way that's going to be helpful in the battle.
I feel like if this thing was stuck in me, my day probably is the worst it's ever been, right?
I mean, you've seen the size of him, right, in the trailer. He's huge. Like, that's nothing to him. That's like you step in.
Well, that's like boss battle kaiju. Like, normal size kaijus, I imagine this thing's pretty adequate. It's definitely better than what we got Eternal Alpha with. Like, he's just punching him. His special ability for Eternal Alpha was to punch things slightly faster. Because he had a piston for a fist.
Don't you make fun of his piston fist.
That's all he had, though. It looks cool. Like, granted, it looks cool, but it's the stupidest ability.
You guys heard him. Steve's making fun of him. That's unacceptable.
Well, no, I'm not making fun of him. I'm making fun of Eternal Alpha. Like, Eternal Alpha looks cool. Honestly, probably one of my favorite Jaegers, to be honest. But, again, his fist thing's stupid.
All of you 10 Russian viewers, put your fists up with me and aim them at Steve. That's unacceptable. I love that guy.
Anyways, this seems way more adequate. Well, we haven't gotten to the next Jaeger. We get to bash him, too. It's fine.
Oh, sweet. So I get to review the guy then.
Sounds good to me. But yeah, it looks really cool. It doesn't come apart, though.
What?
It's like so it's permanently attached to the Jaeger, which is fine. It can rotate.
Wait, you're telling me there's no button on the side that you press and it shoots out with a little chain, and you push the button again and crawls back inside of his arm? That's unacceptable.
I want to say it's a $30 toy. Get what you get. But then again, it is $30. So... but mainly what that is all the detail, mold, and articulation is what kind of bumps up the price on them a bit. One thing I want it because we haven't gotten Gipsy Avenger yet. I have to wait for him to come in because he's on order. These guys I actually found, but I'm curious why these guys are $10 more than Gipsy Avenger. Like he might be a smaller Jaeger compared to them.
That wouldn't make sense though. Why would he be smaller when they should be in scale to each other, right?
Well, he just might be like smaller in the movie than these guys, so that's why these guys are slightly bigger price. But again, won't really know until we get the figure, anyways. And I haven't really watched anybody else's reviews because I don't want to be tainted for our reviews, anyways. Well, I guess tainted is not the right word. Like,
Steve is tainted.
Have an opinion already going into the video. But for the rest of the Jaeger, for his head, kind of reminds me of Lockdown. The Lockdown mask from Transformers, the one we don't talk about.
No.
You know?
No. No, I don't know.
But this,
keep it that way.
This giant yellow visor on the front for the eyes.
Don't bring it down.
I'm still trying to figure out if it's a paint job. It looks like it's just the plastic, but it has this dark metallic green throughout the entire body, but it has these little swirls in it, which I don't know why. It just kind of throws me off a little bit. Like, especially since I'm so used to the NECAs that it's just like smooth, clean finish with like little imperfections in the paint, which kind of helps to add to the realism, I feel.
NECA did it better.
But they have metallic swirls here and there. Like, you especially see it on the arm here. And it just seems kind of odd. Like, I was just, like, picturing this guy to be just plain stagnant armor. Because you can also see it here on the gray, too. It has, like, little swirls inside of the coloring.
I don't know if it's going to show up on camera, but you can definitely see it.
Yeah, but they do have some added detailing here for the shoulder areas with the yellow striping here. You got the yellow arrows pointing upwards. On the back, nothing really going on, which is kind of to be expected. But for the top of shoulders, you get a couple of little nubs on the sides here. These are slightly loose to help with the articulation a little bit, but nothing too much. Front of the chest, you got these little holes on the front, which I wonder if those are actually like guns or something.
Maybe.
Like maybe they go pew pew. Not 100%. But you got the front armor plating here on the stomach area with added little armoring on the sides. Moving to his arms. Not really a whole lot to really go over. The only noticeable thing is on this side, it has this little pipe thing right there. Well, on the opposite arm, it doesn't actually have that. So I'm assuming that has something to do with the ball chain.
Maybe that's my button that you're supposed to press to release it and come back.
I don't know, maybe it's like the gas chamber, so that's how it kind of fires out of them in the movie. That's a really tiny gas chamber, though, if that was the case. I'm not sure. Maybe because I wouldn't hold the cable either, I wouldn't think.
Nope.
So, yeah, I'm not 100% what that actually is. It's weird. On the back, you get some vents. Well, it kind of looks like a porthole, sort of Evangelion-ish. On the back of the spine here, moving down, you got some more armor plating for the back sectioning here. For the legs, pretty basic mech with some added little supports here on the bottom of the feet to help them stand a little bit better. And yeah, just overall, cool looking mech. But yeah, just definitely, I don't know, very lockdown from the movie.
He is.
Like locked down with the ball chain for the most part. But for his articulation, it can look a little bit up, a little bit down. You can articulate the lower neck joint. So
I don't know, he can do some pretty cool things.
He's got some nice jives on the top of his head. For his arms, can go up about that far. We'll just go forward and back. Not the craziest, but he does have a joint here on the inside of his shoulder, so you can drop it and move it a little bit more, which helps with the articulation. Also a little bit of rotation at the top part of the shoulder. And his arm can go outwards about that far. So not the craziest articulation. Definitely, maybe could he... I want to say like it would have been nice if there would have been a joint here, so you could rotate the shoulder.
Then it would look weird.
It would look kind of weird, so I guess I'm okay with it, but just food for thought. For his elbow is on a double joint, so you do get a pretty decent bend. No real rotation there. For the spike ball, can rotate all the way around. Other hand, can rotate all the way around, but not too much play with them for the most part. For his waist, can go a little bit forward and back, a little bit side to side.
It's got some
no
movement.
real rotation though. Legs can go outwards about that far, inwards about that far. Can rotate a little bit at the top part of the thigh. Go forward about that far, backwards about that far. Really nice double joint at the knee. So a lot of play there. And the feet can rotate all the way around, forward and back, and a little bit side to side. And for some quick comparisons here, we have Bracer Phoenix compared next to Titan Redemmer and Scrapper. These are the only ones I got for the line at this moment of this recording. So eventually we'll have all the Eagers together.
Yeah, they're coming in.
Sooner or later. And here's Titan Redemmer compared next to some NECA Pacific Rim figures with Coyote Tango and Hardship.
The one that everyone's been asking for. He's right there, you guys. There he is.
You're welcome. Maybe if like this would probably be like a Geek Chest thing if we ever actually went back to doing him. But one thing I want to point out for this video, when comparing the NECA figures, is I feel like the NECAs have a little bit of a better paint job, to be honest, than what we got with the Robot Spirits, and they're definitely much larger. But where the Robot Spirits figures win is just overall accessories. The articulation I feel is definitely better, and overall quality is a little higher. And here he is compared next to some Monsters figures with the 2014 Spitfire Godzilla and the 2017 Anime Godzilla. And here is compared next to some more traditional Robot Spirits figures with the Wing Gundam and Death Scythe Hell Gundam from Gundam Wing. Just want to point out these guys are a little bit better in terms of what they come with and paint job, but these guys also run you like $50-ish each, while he only ran 30. So I kind of get where the give and take is. So overall, of the Robot Spirits Titan Redemmer figure, I think it's a really solid figure for the price point.
I feel like we already hit the rock bottom with these figures, so the next ones we do, we're just going to have to go up. Because you can't go any further down, you know what I mean?
What do you mean by that?
Just talking about like the lack of the paint job and like the guy's backhanded and designs of these guys.
We haven't gotten to him yet. You can't talk about that one.
I'm talking about it. It's just everything seems like to me it's a little bit off. Like I wish at least like the ball chain would have came off, you know, or you can at least stake it off or something. I just feel like they went a little lackluster on these guys.
Well, the thing is, it is an import figure. And like comparing it to other Robot Spirits figures like we showed you with this video with the Wing Gundams, or Gundam Wing. Well, one was Wing Gundam. Anyways, like if you look at just the difference in the paint job and the color variety, much different.
Yeah.
But then again, those are also more expensive figures.
Well, that's what I mean. I feel like at this point in time, I would have just paid the extra $10, $20 and should have just got a solid, amazing figure.
Because I feel, for me, like everything's there that I want for Robot Spirits, fundamentally. Like with the articulation, plastic quality, and overall just design, it's a Robot Spirits figure, which makes me happy. But because they kept it at a lower price point, it doesn't have quite the same paint job as what I see with some of the other Robot Spirits, and same with accessories, which until you've seen the movie, don't really know what they could have really came with. Like the thing that I'm probably most disappointed with this figure is Scrapper. Because it's just literally just a hunk of gray plastic, which is like cool but kind of unnecessary. But let's compare it to say NECA, the NECA Pacific Rim figures. I feel like these are definitely an improvement over those, even with the less paint job.
I feel like if these two companies combined and made a Pacific Rim figure, it would have been amazing.
Because I feel like that's probably what we're getting with the Shigoken. Actually, after doing this video, I'm kind of curious to see how good the Diamond Select ones are going to be.
Yeah.
Because I know they're definitely going to be larger figures, but if they they could be the truth if they have a better paint job and have the overall same amount of articulation. Then we got something special. But for these figures, definitely at the price point, I would recommend them. Especially if you're really into Pacific Rim and love Japanese figures. These are still really solid options.
Yeah, because they're still only $30, and that's not bad for a Robot Spirit.
Yeah, definitely for something imported, this seems pretty reasonable. Now, again, I'm going to still say this. the Sailor Moon figures are still the best Bandai figures to buy in terms of quality and the amount of accessories they come with.
Steve.
Same price, best thing ever.
Steve, not everyone is into 14-year-old girls like you are, Steve. Let it go.
If you watch anime, we're all into 14-year-old girls.
No!
Even you.
That's not true. Ryoko Matoi is like 16, 17-ish. And her sister's older, so she's like 18.
They're still in high school. She's not.
It makes it
They're
better.
both underage. No, it's not better. But what do you guys think? Have you guys picked up Titan Redemmer? What's your favorite Jaeger? Is the original set just more your thing? Please let us know in the comments. We'll closer picture of these guys on our Facebook. You want to click the link in the description below. We also have a Patreon account with exclusive prints for the channel, also down in the description. And help us defeat those kaijus by hitting that like button, subscribe, become a ranger today. See you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.